Now a few months ago we brought you our take, the PowerDrift take on a legendary challenge, the Citroen Egg Basket Challenge. And now the C5 is back. After the farmers chased us out for destroying their fields and Rohan disappeared with all the eggs, I was curious about how the Citroen would perform in a set of real-world tests. Before we begin, say hello to my new friend. This is Bobby and he's coming along for the ride. Let's get to the point. I just did this exact same road in the front seat of a cab, which is where I normally sit, with Bobby the bobblehead on the dashboard, bobbling away to glory. The same road in the Citroen. Look at how well behaved he is. He is staying like a good dog. This is testament to how good the Citroen's suspension setup actually is. But this isn't a realistic test because we don't actually get good roads as this everywhere, do we? No. So we're going to find a really bad road now and we're going to see if Bobby becomes a bad dog. You see, now this is more of an accurate representation of what you and I have to drive through on a daily basis. And yet, look at Bobby. Now see, he is on hard plastic on a dashboard which is actually connected to the rest of the car while we are sitting on a lovely, comfortable, cushy, insulated seat. So his idea of ride quality is going to be much worse than what we actually get through our butts. But still, look at him. He isn't bobbling to the point where his head would fall off. And I'm not going to mince my words here. Under a crore, there is nothing you can buy which is as comfortable as this. That's not the only test I'm going to do today. Time to get myself a bit of a cheer up drink. It's time for a spill test, a good old-fashioned spill test. And I could have done this with a glass of water or a simple coffee, but no, I really need a perk-me-up. It's the middle of the day and I want a venti. But the question is, if I don't have this immediately, will it spill? And will it make an absolute mess of things on the inside? It's time to find out. Now, amongst all the things we do today, this probably is going to be the most critical test. This is nerve-wracking, and I'm not making this up. I genuinely cannot stand things spilling in my car. I can't stand crumbs in my car. We're approaching a speed breaker. That seems to be holding up well. Still holding up well. Accelerating a little bit just to see what it does. Braking a little bit as well. No movement vertically or horizontally. That's great. I am actually quite surprised at how that drink is holding up because I really thought that if it didn't spill, at least a couple of little droplets would go off the side. But I am nervous. Genuinely, truly am. I think we can call that a success. And since we have succeeded, I think it's only fair that I finally get to take a big sippy. Yum yum. That's good. Oh, that's awesome. Now we've already done 2 tests with you so far, both of which actually showcase how comfortable the Citroen C5 actually is. But in my opinion, comfort is a lot more. It's a more holistic approach. It's about how the car makes you feel on the inside as well. It's about how comfortable the seats are. It's about how much sound from the outside or ambient sound actually filters into the cabin. And to prove a point, we've got my colleague Sankalp in the back seat getting a job interview done.
Can you guys hear me? Am I audible to you?
You know, he'll always be audible considering the fact the sound deadening on the C5 is just so much better than everything else in its segment. Apart from the usual sound deadening from acoustic foam and woven fiber, the windows in the C5 are double laminated glass, making it the perfect place for a job interview. And you know, that's another good thing about the C5, because even if you had two people next to him, he'd still have his personal space. Remember what I talked about earlier? Those carved out seat bottoms and seat backs? You actually do have your own space back there, even if you are three abreast. So we've had three rather unusual ways of testing how good the Citroen C5's comfort is, and honestly it's passed with flying results, isn't it? Before setting off, I was more or less convinced that the C5 would ace all these real-world tests. If you look beyond its absolute devotion to comfort, there are more things that make the C5 special. The surprisingly quick engine, for example, or the European build quality, and the promise of more to come from an iconic brand that finally calls India its home.